Life is not linear, it's not supposed to be. We have to budget in the fact that sometimes there will be dips. There will be times where life is really hard and unfair and doesn't make sense. And in fact, one of the best things that you can do for yourself to make life easier is to accept that life is not fair and it's not always easy. When you have that as a foundational belief, you will be in less resistance to the fact that sometimes your life will be hard, okay? In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the things that are actually massively helping me and have always helped me that I can rely on to get me out of ruts and stuckness and loops of doom that feel like they might go on forever. Okay, because we've all been there. I've been sharing about my own struggles, the things that I am growing through and learning through at the moment. Not to say I'm a victim, please help me, but actually to say, hey, look, I'm a human. I'm a human like you. I struggle as well. And actually what's happened with me, like it may happen with you, is that I have created an authentic change in my life. Change the way that I operate in my business on YouTube, the things that I talk about, to be more in alignment with who I am now. The universe will always test you when you actually make a change like this. And so the change and the challenge is resistance that is supposed to happen to help you to move forward confidently so that you get through and don't go back to your old way just because it's hard, you know? So that's what's happening for me now, and I know that's happening, and because I know that's happening, it's like, okay, I knew this was going to happen. I knew that this might be hard. Like any change that you experience in life, you know, if you, for example, we've talked a lot about relationships on this channel. If you start choosing yourself in a relationship and you start, you know, setting boundaries, saying no, there will be some kind of comeback that makes you say, that is basically like the universal life saying, are you sure? Are you sure you want to love yourself that much? How much do you love yourself? You know, how committed to yourself are you really? And that is where people go, oh no, I'm going to go back. Going back to the old way, this is too hard. Yeah, so that's one of the things that you have to know about life, is that when you change something, there's usually a resistance to that change. Like, let's say you've been doing a dance. You and life, being the partner, have been doing a dance for many, many years. You know the steps, you know what to do. Then you learn a new dance. You learn a new step, and life struggles to catch up with you and to be there in that dance with you, because it has to learn your new way, right? You're the source, you're leading. And I think that is a really helpful analogy to help you see that there is a bit of a transition time when you're learning a new way of being. You know, not everybody catches up straight away. People in your life fall away. People in your life go, oh my God, this is too hard, I've got to leave. And then that feels like resistance too. So anyway, here are some of the things that are massively helping me, along with those things and those beliefs and ideas that I've already shared. And by the way, if you want more support and more guidance like this, come to the living room. We're on every Thursday at 4 o'clock UK time, and every Tuesday we have the creativity room, which is the perfect companion to this kind of thing, because creativity uses the other side of the brain. I'm an art life coach, and I help people to reconnect back to themselves and to feel empowered and strong and good about life again. And if we have relationship struggles, we unpack those things in the living room too, okay? So whatever it is that you're working through, wherever life is showing you some resistance and you're resisting life, I can help you, the group can help you in the living room to let go of some of that clutching on and holding on to the fear that things might not be okay, okay? So, right, some of the things that have helped me, first of all, talking about it, sharing, expressing. If you're not expressing, you're repressing. Interestingly, you know, I was so scared of sharing my story and sharing what's been happening for me that I wasn't sharing it, honestly. And as soon as I've been honest about it and shared the truth of like where I'm at, who I am, what's evolving, what's changing, I interestingly feel like I'm releasing, like I'm expressing, like there's something positive happening, you know? So whenever we're not sharing what's going on, it's really important that we reach out to somebody, write it down, write a song about it, you know? Some of the hardest times in my life became my best songs. You know, the hardest times in my life became a TED Talk. The hardest times in my life became something incredibly creative that actually was a huge positive in the end. So there's a way that we can use our pain to create something beautiful with that. That's another thing, creativity. It works every time. It saved me a million times in my life where I've been really stuck and I've made something from it, you know? So that's one thing. Come to the living room. We'll help you with that. Another thing is obviously, if you can, talking to your friends about it, sharing where you're at, having like an accountability buddy, you know, who's just like on your side, on your team to say, what have you done today? Let's celebrate it. Celebrating the wins, celebrating the things that you are actually doing even when it's really, really hard. And at the same time, allowing yourself to feel what you feel when you feel it. Because it's not like you're just going to be like, yes, I'm inspired, I'm empowered all the time. I certainly am not. You know, I dip, I go up and down. I feel really motivated and really content and really excited about what I'm doing. And then I dip and I think, oh no, this isn't going to work. What if I fail? All those things, those thoughts come in. But it's important that you allow yourself to release those feelings so that you can regulate again. You know, nervous system regulation plays a massive part in this. When you're thinking really negatively, your state will dictate your thoughts, okay? So your state dictates how positively or negatively you will feel. So if you're sleeping really badly, it's like a precursor to really negative thinking, you know, because you're physiologically distressed. If you are, you know, spiraling in a negative loop spiral and you've been on Google and you found loads of terrible things, then you will be dysregulated. When you're looking at the situation and going, oh my God, how am I ever going to get through this? You might go into a spiral of doom, right? From there's not much positive that can happen until you have regulated your nervous system. Yeah? So that's really, really important to know that you've got to regulate your nervous system in order for you to actually create the change and the abundance that you want to create. Yeah, that's something that I've been focusing on. Going for a walk, going out into nature, being around good people, being around people who are not too attached to you being okay. This is another really important thing. Like when you spend a lot of time with your family and, you know, they're worried about you, so you feel pressure to be okay. And sometimes you're not okay. So you need to be around people who are not that worried. I know that sounds silly. But you need to be around people who do care about you a lot, and then people who also are just like, hey, let's just go and do this thing and forget about it. You know, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about someone else, you know. Another benefit to the living room, by the way, because you get the benefit of hearing other people's stuff and it not all being you ruminating about yourself in your head. You know, you get the benefit of offering advice to other people. That is such a huge emotional benefit when you're helping somebody else. So it's just about taking one step at a time, one day at a time, and knowing that things change and everything happens for your highest good, and that this thing that you're going through right now will catapult you into a new way, into something that will actually become someone's survival guide and will make you feel alive again. Someone's just commented, how do I feel alive again? This is how you do it. You know, one step at a time and one, you know, day at a time, where you're reminding yourself that change is inevitable. And it has to happen because life is always evolving and changing. We are always healing all the time. So I hope you found this video useful. Like I say, come to the living room. We talk about all this stuff. It's very inspiring, really empowering, really safe, really nice space to unpack the things that you're struggling with right now, whether that's in relationships. We get a lot of that, obviously, because my channel's been about relationships for years. So lots of people want to unpack relationships, but also it becomes about so much more than that, because very often we realise that the surface level problem might be the relationship. Underneath that is often an attachment, something from childhood that wants to be resolved. So if you want any more information about that, you can find out about it in the link below, and I'll see you in the next video.